Aguilo Research STEMpedia, revolutionizing the way K-12 students learn about 21st century skills, AI, AR, VR, robotics, and computer education. I've always been looking for quality coaches to coach my own kid, right? So let's hear it from Pankaj. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Pankaj Kumar Verma. I am 2017 IIT Kanpur pass out. So I and Drupal started this company STEMpedia, and we are catering to like how the students of age 5 to 16 can learn about coding and robotics in a very fun way. And for that, we have created a whole ecosystem doing that. So we are supported by Art Park. We have been associated with them for the last 2 years, have been supporting us for the growth part as well. So I would start off with the problem part. So as all we know, AI and robotics are these are the fields that are going to have a very big economic boost in the coming times. So like our idea is basically we have to like make our kids ready for the future. So it's not like they have to master it all in the first go, but what we want is to basically get them experience to the world of coding and robotics, how they can experience it, so that they are able to develop interpersonal skills, cognitive skills, computational thinking, problem solving, all those parts. So that's the major goal that we have, that we want to give them exposure and go from rote learning to a more hands-on learning part. So as a problem, if we see when the student want to learn about robotics or AI, the entry barrier is very high right now. The students don't have platforms at age 5, 6 to like take any coding platform. They cannot learn Python. So what we have done, so that's the first problem that we are solving. The other problems that we have is the accessibility part. So if we want to go to masses, then we have to solve the problem that laptop cannot be the sole device where the coding can be done. It should be also available on the mobile devices. So that's the second problem that we are also taking. And then the third problem that we are taking is that we have to scale it up. So that's why how we go into the market. So whether we take the B2C, B2B, what's the approach? So that is something which we have taken as the problem. So as the solution, what we have is we have created a full-fledged ecosystem which have educational kits. These are the robotics kits that the students are able to play with, do programming, and create like real-life projects. We have our own creator platform, PictoBlocks, which have block coding or Python coding, AR, VR based libraries, AI libraries, and machine learning environment inside it, allowing the students to create projects that were not possible for them with the platform which are available for adults. So we have simplified it, made the lower entry barrier lower. The other part that we are doing is as a go-to-market strategy, we are targeting schools. So we are setting up like coding AI and robotics lab by upgrading the existing computer infrastructure to AI and robotics. So as a part of it, we are doing curriculum alignment with the school boards. We are doing a lot of teacher development program to enhance the delivery of the content and delivery of the material. And then we also, as a part of the closure, we have the Codever competition that we do every year, where the students get a platform to basically create and solve real-life problems using the whole ecosystem. So that's the closure that we have, where the students actually do a lot of projects where they are able to create self-driving cars, or a miniature version of it. They are able to create phase-based attendance system by their own. So this is a video just to show how.
Meet Quarky. It's a gesture-controlled robot. No. A smart gardening system? No, wait. An autonomous delivery truck? No. A Mars rover? Actually, it's all this rolled into one.
Hi, Corky.
Hi, Jay.
It's an AI and robotics learning companion for the next generation. Corky takes children on an exciting journey to explore advanced concepts on AI and robotics with an easy, engaging, and hands-on approach.
So I will just skip the other part so that there is a time limit. So as an impact, we have touched more than 1 million students Already we have been working with more than 2,000 schools right now, and we are working with more than 20 channel partners as well. Uh, Last year we had a revenue of 14 CR with a profitability of 1 CR as well. And this year we are going towards a 40 CR revenue as well. So the growth is also there. We have a good number of active monthly users of our coding platform, and it's growing very steadily. And yes, the other parts that I want to convey is we work in private schools, in government sectors as well, and also CSR. So we are basically a full-fledged ecosystem that allows all these service providers to take up the solution and implement it into the for the end customers. So we are working in all the segments, and we have done a lot of like product market fit is already there, and we have done more than 800 schools where we have done this lab setups. So this is the PictoBlocks. Yeah. So the PictoBlocks platform is basically the creator tool that we have. We have a very good user engagement happening there. The students are creating projects and uploading their projects on YouTube very regularly as well. And this is a like it's what we have achieved. Like what we have visioned is it has to be a creator platform rather than just a like a consumption platform. The students should have the ability to create their own projects with those technology. And the best part that we have is that PictoBlocks is available on a smartphone. So we are able to reach a mass audience, mass students, because we have the accessibility on the smartphone.
Meet
And to enhance the experience of the students, we have the hardware kits, and this the application of this kit of kits range from preschool to primary school to higher education in class 9, 10th, 11th, 12th as well. So we have these kits given to the schools as a part of their computer lab upgrade, and then we implement the curriculum with the hardware kits, which allows them to be interactive. So our USP here is basically the hardware and the software solution integration that we are doing. I will just quickly cover. There is a very large market that we are catering. I will just cover. Yes. We are currently raising a round of 10 million, and this is mainly for the expansion in the domestic international market. We are doing a lot of product development as well, and creating products which is more premium for IB schools is something which we are also doing. And for international markets expansion, we are looking for B2C based product deployment in the US market. So those are the areas where we are looking to work in the coming time. We have good profitability with us as well. Our leadership team is very well is good. We have good mentors, and we are looking forward to have a discussion with all of you. We have our stall as well where we are showing all the demos. So thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So, the leader in this space is Temrobo. How different are you from them? They are about 3 times your size, 4 times your size.
So, STEMrobo is not like STEMrobo has a very niche market. They are only working on adult tinkering labs or programs that have derived from there. So, actually, we are beating them on those programs as well. And the AI and robotics lab is something which is not being taken by them into the market. So, we are actually way ahead of them. And have won a lot of contracts instead of going to them. We have won those contracts. Yes. So we have our channel partners who So channel partners such as Tata Classes, Goel Brother Prakashan, so publishers as well. So they go to the school, so they have their own sales team. So we give our products as an offering to them. They take it up to the school, and the service part we do. So it's a B2C, a B2B model that we are doing.
Okay. In terms of your model today, you have a hardware plus software, right?
Yes.
And what are some of your strategies for customer acquisition? Is it more? You answered the question about B2B being
Yes.
B2B, right? So how do you plan to expand it? Because I think since hardware plus software is there, what is your strategy for market
So,
expansion as well as if you have a strategy for B2C as well? I would like to.
So for B2C, we have a like strategy that we have tested B2C as well. What we have found is that those B2C product has to be very different from our B2B product and has to be very specific for a specific market, which can be US or a developed country. So for them, we are developing different set of products. Catering to the customer acquisition part, PictoBlocks has been a very good tool for us to get more customers in the ecosystem. So we do a lot of teacher development programs, lot of boot camps, which allow the teacher from the various background coming from IB, from CBSE, ICSE to. So in B2B, the customer it's very less, like 15,000.
Okay, great. I am going to have to cut you short. Okay, thank you so much. Give him a big round of applause, guys. Okay, so next we have Bytescare. He's building a transparent internet ecosystem championing authenticity by safeguarding original content and removing fake profiles, defamatory content, or counterfeits, ensuring a trustworthy online experience for all. Bytescare, you're next. Time starts now.
Hello everyone, I am Manish Jindal, co-founder at Bytescare. Multiple industries such as education, news media, entertainment are losing billions and billions of dollars every year due to unauthorized distribution of their content over various channels and impacting more than 2.5 million jobs around the world. And as a estimation, we have found like around 20 to 25% of their revenues are lost in these unauthorized distribution. So most of these companies, like they always go to a manual or legal method, which are slow, inefficient, and expensive. For example, it takes more than 3 to 4 weeks to take a single Google link down from Google search engine, and we are doing. So we are building an autonomous solution that not only detects, but also take down the unauthorized links from the internet at scale using our proprietary technology, expertise, and relationship with tech giants like Google. In terms of technology, we have built web crawlers for all major platforms like Google, Amazon, Facebook, and we are able to identify, rank, and filter out all the unauthorized links for the content which for our clients. And we have built a team of more than 35 people expert in identifying the infringements and take them down. And our relationship with Google, like they have given the opportunity to take links within 24 hours. So we are part of Google Trusted Copyright Pro. So currently we are offering 3 major services. One is the post-party solution. Once the content has been leaked, how you can identify and take it down. The second is the brand solution. If somebody is creating a fake profile of you on social media or using your trademark logo or creating fake websites, we can take down all those down. And the third solution which we are currently building are the pre-party solutions, so that the content does not get leaks from your already existing platforms. This is how our dashboard looks like, where we display all the numbers, like how many links have been identified and how many links have been taken down. And using this dashboard, the clients can also calculate the impact on their business and calculate the ROI of our service. We are a B2B SaaS company having more than 125 plus clients. We have annual client retention of more than 85%. Annual contract value is $4,000. And over the years, we have identified more than 30 million pirated links with a removal success rate of 99%. And the best part is we have we have reduced the takedown time from weeks to hours. This is the market we are targeting. It's a 36 billion TAM, this includes both the digital piracy and the counterfeits. And we are targeting a sum of more than 180 million. we are not alone in this the market, but we are differentiating ourselves from speed, efficiency, as well as affordability. We are targeting three major customer segments. One is educator, creator, and the second is creator, and third is the publisher. And we are already working with market leaders like Physics Wala, Indian Express, Class Plus. And we are looking to expand globally, either working in the same market domain or working with the global counterparts of our already existing clients. For example, we are working with Penguin House India. Through their reference, we can go to Penguin Global. We have opportunity to expand to new sectors like movie, consumer goods, and financial sectors. This is our product roadmap. Currently, we are working on the scanning technology optimization and also the productization of our services. As I mentioned, we are also working on the pre-piracy solution, and we want to become a one-stop solution so that the content is safeguarded. We are two co-founders, both come from ITBHU. We have known each other for more than 12 years. Vineet comes from a tech background and currently handling the tech and business development at ByteScale. I come from finance background and currently handling the fundraise and the business strategy. This has been our progress for over the years, currently sitting at more than 500k ARR with the 60% gross margin. We are looking to raise $2 million. That will give us a runway of more than 20 months, and we are targeting an ARR of 5 to 7 million in next 2 years. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi. So Manish, is your solution limited to only the URLs that you could provide to kind of scan it? Or say, for instance, I'm building a model. Would you be able to kind of check on, that more data it is trained on in terms of, the biases, hallucinations, and things like that as well? Because
that I have to check with my tech team. We can scan through the internet. We can scan the source code as well if you want. But to answer the specific, I need to check with.
Because you mentioned about defamatory content, profanity, and things like that. So if you have a okay, then you have to check, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, we have a question here.
If the content is something like that, it's already available on the web, then what is the process you are taking to take down? Because it's for doing, it's only liable for the government thing. So how as a company you are doing?
So what we have done, we have built the mechanism like Google is providing to take down a copyright content from their search engine. Similarly, Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, they have provided the channels. We have streamlined the process and partnered with this platform to escalate those processes. And no government intervention is required unless you want to take it to a big scale. And even in that, there is no government requirement. You can take legal action directly as well.
Any other questions? Anil, follow up?
In terms of for you to decide whether a particular link is going to be good or bad, what is your source that you consider? So do you actually have you mentioned about web crawling and other things, right? So how do you give it an authenticity score so that you kind of decide which one is good or bad? Because I'm trying to understand your USP, right? Because if I have to just rely on you, we need to understand how do you go about doing it and what is the authenticity score, or how do you kind of gauge it?
So there are two methods. Like first, when we onboard a client, we take the whitelisted link. Let's say you have a website, you have a Facebook page, you have a Telegram. So we take all the whitelisted links into our system. That gives us we don't have to take consider anything present on these groups or these pages. Second, we have identified more than 1 lakh pirated website, and we understand the footprints of any pirated group or a pirated website, like how they operate, like how they're operating through ads, like what kind of ads they're running, what kind of download buttons they are giving, how many files are present, what kind of logos they have been using. So all those things are being considered while we are giving a reliability score to the website.
Okay, Manish, one last question. One last question, 30 seconds, and then we'll go to the next. If not, we'll move on. Okay, audience question. That's fine. I can take an audience question.
My question is your takedown method only for public content or even for private conversation or group conversation? As you mentioned, WhatsApp.
So we search through only the public content, the public channel, public forums. If you provide us the link to a private channel or screenshot of private channel, we take down the private channels as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Manish. Guys, give him a big hand. Come on. Okay. Great. Next we have Mammoth Analytics Limited. Mammoth enables faster decision making by streamlining, standardizing, and automating fragmented and messy data in enterprises. Okay, Pankaj, your time starts now.
I am Pankaj. I'm here on behalf of Mammoth. We have been on a bit of a journey for quite some time. Getting a lot of data on the way. So like there are so many data points. We are looking to bridge the gap between the decision makers. Is it? Okay. Is it better? Thank you. Between the decision makers and the data. So this is a problem, and there are various solutions that exist for that, and there are tons of them. But if you just take you through the data journey for any organization, mostly we're talking about the businesses. You have to kind of deal with centralizing your data. You have to deal with transforming it at various places. You have to kind of start discovering what is there in that. And then if you keep getting such data month on month, week on week, then you have to kind of automate all of that process. And the typical solution that we know is that you need to know SQL, you need to know Python, you need to know these tools. And every second year, you're kind of just refreshing yourself on the technology, right? And a new thing comes up. So the typical organization is that you have an IT, and a big organization, you have people who actually need end results from that data. And then like you kind of negotiate with them, you find their time, they will do the work for you. Or if you're a small organization, you better learn some of these things yourself. And we're looking to solve that problem to some extent. So this is the journey. You have the IT and engineering in between, kind of deal with them, who then further deal with lots of such platforms, either raw code or there are tech stacks, various things. So your process to get the insight is kind of a very longish loop. Right? What we're trying to do as Mammoth, is just to kind of cut this whole clutter. Okay, so we have a SaaS platform where you just kind of log in and we deal with all of those things. So handling the databases, connecting with APIs, taking the data from SFTP, wherever, it doesn't matter. When you bring them in, you kind of organize and put it all together. The most important part is we kind of focus on it being a no-code solution. So we are trying to see if you can, like, if the Excel, for example, right, has been there since ages. Like we have kind of lived with that, and that tool just doesn't go away. So it doesn't matter what technologies you keep bringing into the picture, right? That kind of stays strong. And people want things there, and people want it like quickly enough, right? And they're stuck with the rest of the project. So Mammoth is kind of making it easier for them to pick data from their raw sources and getting them to the insights. So we have a stall out here. Very happy to kind of have you come and visit and see. And kind of Divya and Yogeshwar, they are manning it. It will be good to show you what we're doing. Underlying technology. Because of our kind of one thing that we've been saying to ourselves that we are a no-code platform. And how do you do data with a no-code platform? That's one challenge that we have always been with. I think we are very, very hesitant to put a single line of code visible to the user that, hey, you write this and then we start to work. Right? So we're trying to get away from that, which fundamentally makes us a very deliberate UX company. Right? So data and UX, I think these are the two things you kind of don't hear them together. So, but if you visit our stall and you look at Mammoth, I think you'll kind of get that that's something that you can actually solve. You can make data accessible to the end user. And that's where kind of our effort is. So underlying effort kind of just in terms of the innovations, just to kind of make it accessible. Some pending patents, and then since you're dealing with the data, you got to be compliant. So we have kind of pretty much all of it, SOC 2, HIPAA, GDPR, ISO, and so on. One example, Starbucks, they're our customer for, they have two segments called RTD and AHC, ready to drink and at-home coffee. So it's like Coffee Day, if you see their merchandise by the side of the store that you kind of buy. So we're handling this data for all of Europe from Nielsen IQ. If some of you who know this domain, they aggregate the data from various retailers and provide it back to the businesses. I'm sorry if is it clear? Is it readable? No? Sure. Okay, I'll read it. So this data is from 17 countries and kind of about 300 million rows of data that kind of shows up from different places for Nielsen IQ. It kind of goes into, earlier it used to go into an agency which would do this job month on month and kind of output the PPTs. The whole process was kind of non-repeatable. And so now what we have done, I think we have just changed this whole process. There's a Mammoth product here where the whole cycle just finishes in about 4 hours from the data entry to data exit as a no-code platform. From the way we are kind of looking at ourselves is that if you look at Excel, if I can show you, I think this doesn't even apply. This is like it's applicable, and then probably you need human intervention to do some of these things. So Mammoth is kind of covering the whole consultation, discovery, preparation, analysis journey. And and Excel kind of, you cannot consolidate the data, you cannot prepare it, but you can analyze. Right? So we are kind of through that. And then there are these various data operation platforms, which kind of, again, do not allow for discovery or analysis, but they do allow for consolidation and preparation, and that, again, you have to program it. So we're kind of covering this whole journey of data management. There are 2 modes we're kind of having it in. There are Mammoth Managed and a self-serve mode. Mammoth Managed, we have a few models where kind of we assist them to get it going, and then after that there is a multi-revenue. This is typically with the large enterprises, whereas the self-serve, this is in the range of $300 to $1,200 that we're charging. This is for small and medium enterprises where they themselves come onto the platform and just get access to all of the data. So yeah, I think the benefit in terms of, because we're getting quite a good maintenance margin because I think we're kind of streamlining a lot of process. Time is up. Okay.
10 seconds.
Yeah. So we are looking for 3 million investment at this point of time. We are I think we have figured out where we are working and which are the places, but I think we want to grow. And then, so most of the investment is now kind of going to sales and marketing.
Okay, great. Opening to audience questions, starting with Pulkit from Pavestone.
Quick things. One, you said monthly revenue. That is per seat, or how you charge it, or it is like a subscription model for the whole organization, any number of seats?
No, there are variations depending upon how much storage. So that's why there is a range. It's a per user.
What would be your median revenue from each of the customers?
So there are, like, as I said, there are 2 different categories: SMBs and then the big businesses.
Large enterprises.
Large enterprises, 10K per month.
Okay. One last question. There are umpteen amount of platforms which are actually trying to solve individual use cases, right? Vertical use cases already in these organizations. How would you displace that? What's your strategy to displace and how would you do that? Because you are doing a generalized one.
Yeah.
That they can use it for any use case, right?
Yeah.
There would be sales engine optimization platforms which would be doing that. How would you displace them?
So where we are finding success is it's a good question. So where we are kind of working very well is where we're getting data from a data partner. So for example, we have like about 4 or 5 partnerships which are the data generators, and on the other side you have the data consumers, right? So we are kind of working with them as a partnership, and then we are feeding into the one who are actually needing the insight. So in quite a few places we have displaced the whole IT piece in between. So if you're going and talking to the IT, I think it's a hard sell. But if you're talking to the end business user who have been struggling with the IT, I think we are finding it a little easier to kind of get through that process. Right? And then yes, I mean, we are not looking to displace them, but just to kind of get the communication going. And once that happens, then we collaborate with the IT to kind of to make things easier. Because there is always a fear. I think you're kind of displacing some bit of things at places. So yeah, so I think the one who need the results, I think that's one we are talking to about. We are not talking typically to the IT in the organization to start. So we do negotiate with them later on.
Okay, we have time for maybe one last question. Nihar from Xfinity.
Sounds like an ELT platform plus analysis on top. The ELT part, are the self-serving part is the ELT part and the managed ELT plus analysis on top?
It's ELT and management, but with a better UX. You don't need to program. Like, it's a visually driven platform. Both of them. Right? We are consciously not doing insights right now because there are quite a few platforms. So we are not competing with Power BIs and Tableaus and so on. We feed into those platforms. Right? But we take care of the rest of the 80% of the clutter in the process.
Okay, one last question and we'll wrap it up. 30 seconds. Anybody, audience or investor, either one. We'll move on. Okay, thank you so much, Pankaj, for your
Thank
time.
you.
Give a
Thank
big
you.
round of applause. Come on. Right. Next we have Agnit Semiconductors, India's first gallium nitride semiconductor technology startup, designing and manufacturing indigenous gallium nitride components for defense, telecom, and power conversion industries. Please welcome Agnit Semiconductors. You're skipping what's loan, and we're going to move on to the next. Okay, great. Harish, over to you.
Thank you all. Great to be here. So my name is Harish. I'm the CEO of Agnit Semiconductors Private Limited. We are India's first gallium nitride technology startup. We not only design, but we also manufacture semiconductor components here in the country. And I'll tell you why that matters. Mainly, gallium nitride is a new semiconductor material. It's useful in a wide variety of applications. I'll be talking about one such application now. So, and this is primarily going to be for wireless communication. Okay, great. All right. So, if you take a look at wireless communication and transmission applications, so let's consider the case of 5G public and private networks. I'm sure you've all seen cell phone towers, and they all have these squarish-looking boxes, which are the radios. And if you take a look at what's gone on, in the radios, there's a very critical component called the power amplifier. This is also what causes base stations to be extremely energy intensive and dissipates most of the heat. So up to about 4G or so, you could get away by using silicon-based power amplifiers in 4G base stations. But in 5G, silicon doesn't cut the mustard anymore. So you need to move to a new semiconductor material, which is called gallium nitride. So gallium nitride is now going into every 5G power amplifier and base station. And similarly, let's say that this building is going to have its own 5G private network at some point in the future. So gallium nitride is also the power amplifier that enables these kind of applications to happen. So again, if you take a look at, let's say, a military application like radar. So a radar at the end of the day is transmitting a wireless signal. Let's say it gets a ping from an enemy aircraft, and then you do some back-end data processing and analyze how far it is, how fast it's moving, and all of that. But there is a very high-powered data transmitter there. Right? And that transmitter is now being powered by gallium nitride-based power amplifiers. So all of this is moving away from silicon now. So another prototypical use case, for example, let's consider the case of a surveillance drone. So you have a drone that's flying above and it's recording videos, taking pictures. You want to beam this back to base. You want extremely high range, which means that your power amplifier needs to be able to handle extremely high powers, one. Number two, you're sitting on a drone. You don't want to drain the drone's battery. So it needs to be extremely efficient. Right? And gallium nitride components are typically about 60-65% efficient when compared to silicon, which is about 40 to 45% efficient. The third thing is, it's a space-constrained environment, so you want it to be extremely small. Right? This is a classic use case where gallium nitride does much better than any conventional solutions on the market today. So again, if you take a look at what's going on with satellite communication, let's say you want to blanket the Earth with low Earth orbit constellation of satellites and deliver Wi-Fi to every corner of the globe. Right? So you have a satellite, and then you have these radio transponders that are sitting on top of the satellite, and they're what beam the signal out. And all of these applications are now gallium nitride. So to put it very simply, gallium nitride enables us to consume more data while itself consuming less power at a system level. So if you take a look at the market sizes of all of these use cases, for example, in 2026, the addressable market for gallium nitride components in 5G base stations is going to be 1.1 billion. And India is also a very fairly large opportunity, and this is all growing extremely rapidly, driven by the rollout of 5G public and private networks. Similarly, if you take a look at the military use case, so addressable market is again 1.5 billion, so it's almost even Stevens. And again, this is just for the gallium nitride component itself, right? And again, very rapidly growing market, and the Indian thrust on Atmanirbhar as well as defense export market is actually acting as a tailwind in this favor. So if you take a look at competition in this space, right? So there are global companies, for example, all of these companies that I've listed here, who work on gallium nitride. So what is it that we're bringing to the table? So I will sum it up in 3 words, right? So customizability, convenience, cost. So what do I mean by that? So in terms of customizability, gallium nitride is a new device. So let's say that you make certain design choices as a designer, and I make certain design choices as a designer. We are inherently going to need different kinds of components. So this is like ASICs, right? Except at the device level. So the other thing is that in terms of convenience, so gallium nitride power amplifiers, for example, are export controlled. Gallium nitride remains on the US International Traffic Against Arms list. So if you're an Indian system designer trying to put out military systems, you don't have access to these power technologies, right? So that's the problem that we're solving. And secondly, the lead times for some of these components can be tremendous. We're talking about upwards of 72 weeks. So that is a terrific problem. In terms of cost, so Agnet is a fabless player. So our manufacturing, I spoke about the $50 million mighty funded GAN fab line, which is coming up in IISc Bangalore. Welcome to come and visit. And the second thing is that we are a vertically integrated company. So what I mean by that is that we have technology to do the image on the top is actually a gallium nitride wafer, which we make. Then the entire wafer is in a clean room, which is available with us. And those are the transistors that result out. So that's the base of the technology. And since we are vertically integrated, this offers us a cost advantage. And lastly, there is differentiated technology. Our manufacturing process is IP protected, non-infringing, completely covered by more than 10 patents, US and India. And all of this has been developed over 15 years at IISc. So we did actually. So if you take a look at next steps, so here's a gallium nitride based chip which is going into radars, right? So this is one that we made. Here are some potential customers, and the revenue potential is more than 20 million in 2028. And the initial prototypes are ready, and in terms of product scale up and qualification, that's what we're working on now. And we have a clear line of visibility to customer revenue in the next few years. In terms of the telecom market, so our prototypes for the telecom market are under development, and these are some potential customers, and the revenue potential is also indicated there. So prototypes are under development. Pre-production samples will be available in the next 21 months. And in terms of customer revenue visibility, this is something that we're building as we speak. So our founding team has its roots in the Indian Institute of Science. So we are an interdisciplinary team of material scientists, process engineers, device engineers, reliability experts, and this is what it takes to set up a semiconductor technology company. So in terms of our capital plan, we're also looking to raise 3 million, and this is how the breakup is going to be in terms of that. So what the 3 million is going to do is take us from where we are today to having prototypes which are completely sold in the defense market and prototypes for the telecom market available with customers for testing. So what we've done in the past is we've raised 1.3 million from angel investors in 2021. That's what is kept so far. We have a team of 9 currently developing technology, apart from founders whom I showed. And this is the first institutional round that we're seeking to raise. And this will put an Agnet product into somebody's bill of materials to start with. So thank you. I will take questions, and I'll leave you with my summary.
Hey, 1 minute, please, if I'll.
Sure, I believe the question was about raw materials, right?
Just wanted to understand the availability
Sure,
of
I can give you 2 kinds of answers. One of them is going to be a cop-out answer, so let me start with that. So, which is that we're a fabless company. We work with a foundry who, in fact, sources all the raw materials. So we don't carry anything on our inventory. But as I said, that's a cop-out answer. So if you take a look at what it takes to make gallium nitride, and indeed any semiconductor, it's a pretty complex supply chain. So gallium nitride itself is gallium and nitrogen. So you need a source of gallium, a semiconductor-grade source of gallium, and nitrogen is traditionally coming from ammonia. Unfortunately, India does not have a supply base of any semiconductor-grade chemicals, even things like acetone and nitrile. So we have multiple sources for all of these chemicals. There's a supply chain that has at least 5 suppliers diversified across 3 to 4 countries.
Is the world supply controlled by China?
So that is, it's kind of like shale oil. So I'm sure that this has been in the news because China then put down, export controls on gallium. Right? So that is the gallium. Right? So that is a big step from having gallium to having semiconductor-grade gallium. So it needs to be, semiconductor-grade gallium is typically about 6.9 to 7.9 pure. So that's 99.9999% pure. So not even China does that kind of refining that we do. So the supply chain is pretty complex, and it's also,
what Pankaj is asking is, if they're controlling, then how do you?
No, they don't control it. So it's like you have an export curve there. There are a lot of gallium resources available in Russia and Ukraine, which will then step up and do that.
And what would be the cost of raw materials in your entire?
So in the final chip, it's less than 10%. Thanks. Currently, our revenue is equal, yes.
Sanjay Shukla from San Angels.
I think I don't have any questions, but I visited Harish's manufacturing facility, and it's fabulous. And what work they are doing for India is tremendous.
Thank you. Government of India's manufacturing facility, so we just happen to be based there.
I like the way you use the word fabulous. Any other questions? Else we move on to the next one. 30 seconds. One last question. Yes, please.
As a fabless, would you want to go to TSMC or do you want to be with the local fab? Is there any reason for that? Other question is, are you worried about people manufacturing began having a vision to move to 12-inch wafers and stuff like that, right? Or even 8-inch, 12-inch wafers.
Sure.
Do those things bother you?
Sure. I think that there's a lot of nuance in that question, so maybe I'll take the second one first. So in all the RF technology, it's primarily GaN on silicon carbide. Silicon carbide wafers are not 12-inch, they are at 4-inch now. And commercial is just moving to 6-inch. So this is very tractable with the kind of existing manufacturing facilities that we have. Right? So that's the second part of your question. The first part is, what about designing at places like TSMC? It's purely a matter of scale. So if you want the best possible performance, then you also have good control over the manufacturing practices. If you go to TSMC, you don't have that, then you'll have to work with an off-the-shelf part. The question is, if you have enough volumes and you can't scale up here, then yeah, maybe TSMC is an option. But then you'll have to figure out what other kinds of tuning you can do on the device performance in order to get the best possible performance. Gallium nitride is more expensive than silicon. It's going to continue to remain more expensive than silicon for at least the next 5-6 years while the technology matures. So if you want to justify the price, you should offer a compelling performance trade-off.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Harish. Give him a big hand. Okay, so next we have Swasta Manufacturing. They are a deep tech startup and they're providing end-to-end indigenously developed solutions for construction 3D printing.
Sudeep. Good afternoon. I'm representing a company called as Swasta Manufacturing Solutions. We are a startup based out of Chennai. We were started by 3 IIT Madras founders, mechanical engineers who suddenly took an interest in civil engineering. So anyway, basically we are into the field of construction 3D printing. 3D printing for buildings, 3D printing for architectural panels, and basically anything and everything related to construction automation. As we know, the construction industry is one of the largest employers of manpower in the country. Along with that, also one of the least sustainable because cement production being the biggest greenhouse carbon emitter in terms of industries. So basically we wanted to have a little bit more sustainable look at this, and we wanted to understand how we could help and improve the adoption of technology in this sector where historically technology adoption has been quite low. So yeah, we were founded by 3 founders from IIT Madras, Mr. Aditya, Parivartan and Vidya Shankar. We have key strategic partners in Third Derivative, Shriram EPC. Also, we just broken out into the US market with a strategic partnership over there with Green Company. We have some key investors where we have Asian Development Bank, Saint Gobain, as well as Habitat for Humanity as one of our key vendors. I mean, one of our key investors. So we are a deep tech startup. We offer full end-to-end solutions for construction automation, construction 3D printing. Basically, we do the machines, we do the material, we also do the design for additive manufacture, and we are based out of Chennai. 70 plus people today, engineers. We have an in-house structural team, in-house architecture team, as well as an in-house project management team for looking into demonstrator projects as well. Our vision is to basically accelerate the adoption of technology in the construction space worldwide. We want to build faster, quicker, safer, and more sustainably in the field of construction. Okay, we also have our own 3D printers which we design and manufacture in-house in our Chennai factory. We also have a production facility where we make 3D printed panels for architectural use, as well as to be assembled in 3D printed buildings. I have a small video a little bit later on. I'll maybe kind of walk you through that process. Okay, just to compare, yes, 3D printing today is expensive compared to normal conventional construction, but I think that's a gap which is going to come down, specifically with the advantages which we see with the use of sustainable materials, and basically the carbon exchange program which is being introduced in other countries, which we see happening and coming to India very soon. So basically 3D printing allows us to do complex designs without investment in formwork, basically, which is basically the mold which is required for making any concrete structure. We offer formwork free construction. We offer the capability to do mass customization at scale. We also are 10 to 20 times faster than traditional construction. Okay, I'll just quickly skip through. We have IoT, BI, building information modeling, etc. software built in. We have an operational requirement of only 2 people to construct on a 60 by 40 site to construct a building. Yeah, we'll show a quick video also. Okay, what do? We sell 3D printers. We do projects as well. We also do 3D software, 3D CP, 3D construction printing software, and we also do end-to-end consultancy and DFAM and take up turnkey projects. Okay, we are awarded this PAX regulatory certificate, which allows us to do G+2 construction across India by BMTPC using our proprietary process. So we are one of 2 across the country who have this. We are also the winners of the National Startup Award. Anyway, I have a quick video. Maybe we can. Okay.
Okay, let's go into audience questions and investor questions. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, we are looking at raising 5.5 million. 2.5 has been committed. We are yet to close 3 million. Okay, it will be used for the materials R&D. So it kind of oscillates. This year it is primarily machines. So we are around 55 to 60% machines. Rest is basically EPC.
Can I request all the investors to use the mic? Because
is there an annuity component to your revenue? Is it all capex sales?
No, we have both models in place. We have a royalty-based model, lease-based model as well, and we also have a model where there's an outright capex sales. Both are there. Both are being currently used. So we have one model like that, which is there in Godrej, and another with respect to direct sales. Yes.
Are there restrictions?
Yes, for the software which we offer for the control of the machines, yes, there is a licensing fee.
Are there any restrictions in terms of floor span or the height of building that you can
Presently, in one setting or one installation of the printer, we can do 10 meter by 10 meter by 10 meter. After that, you move the printer to the next location and then construct again.
What is the cost per square feet compared?
We do both. No, we do projects at site as well. We do prefabricated and assemble at site as well.
Cost per square feet, how does it compare? Versus formwork?
Versus formwork, we are currently. It is a difficult question. It's a loaded question. Let me try and answer it a little bit diplomatically. So currently, the 3D printing cost, the actual cost of 3D printing is only 30% of the total cost of construction. That being said, we are currently around 1.7 to 1.8x of traditional concrete construction when you compare with brick and masonry or concrete blocks, aerated concrete.
Any other questions? Else we'll move on to the next. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shivo. Give him a big round. Okay, we have. I think we have time for 2 more. We have time for 2 more, right? All right. Vanix Technologies. We are. Okay, Vanix Technologies is driving AI breakthroughs with FPGA GPU, hybrid hardware, and intelligent software. Great. Over to you, Ashwin.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, myself is Ashwanologies. Let's come to the visions first. What comes in your mind when you're thinking about these kind of applications, whether it is drone communication, robotics, or AI surveillance, or EV charging, or kind of signaling conditions today what we are going. The one thing is here is very common is that the first it is in the future basically we are dealing with, because ultimately these are the edge applications is going to be deal in the future. But the common problem which all the application is actually facing is actually how optimize the hardware it is. Okay, so today what we are thinking or what we are doing is this, that we having drones, we having robotics, but when it comes to the computational burden kind of things, most of the things we are doing over the cloud or over the software or something else. But we believe that when you are talking about any edge application or real-time applications, you need to be optimize the hardware also, you need to be optimize the software also, and at the last you need to be optimize the AI algorithm also. So we're working on these three levels, and then we are making a kind of brain which can be directly fit into this kind of application. Obviously we are not focusing all the applications, but this one controller which is the combination of either FPGA, GPU, and extracting the power of the both, okay, so that it can be fit into the deep tech applications. For example, for high data acquisition application, obviously sometimes GPU started crying, but for AI ML kind of things, GPUs are really great. So at kind of application where exactly you can do a wonder, so we are actually trying to be optimize that kind of hardware. So what we doing and what are the problem, basically we feel that when you go for some of the deep tech applications, the problem is obviously today at edge application, obviously the security issue is one problem, sometimes the poor performance. What exactly we doing when we putting into the hardware, basically we simply taking the hardware, assemble it, and it's very costly. That is the major problem. Obviously the cost and high power consumption is again the problem. Let's say for example for drones, so drones, if you talking about the drones for defense kind of applications, really the power consumption is one of the major reasons, and that power consumption is always go on only the brain what exactly it has. So obviously that need to be optimized. So what we proposing, we are actually having the solution which having obviously high security, more powerful performance than end devices, because it's not only depend on the FPGA chipset or kind of GPU chipset, it is the combination of both. Low cost as compared to that, because ultimately it is manufactured or designed by us, and obviously the low power things. So this kind of controller which we made, and we started deploying this controller across 15 applications from last year, and now we come down to only 2-3 controllers which exactly can fit into number of applications like drones or communications or robotics. So one of these controllers we fit into the drones, where exactly it try to control more than 6 to 7 cameras, the computational everything happening over the edge itself only, and whatever the IML models you are putting over, that is also happening. So now exactly we bringing down it to 3 or 1 or 2 something. So USP is that only that we are actually in hardware FPGA plus GUI, and then we are actually putting AI accelerator library over that. So we having the offer the hardware also, and we having offering the AI SaaS model also. So that SaaS model is if you look into the compare, it is low cost subscription based smart features. So ultimately depend on what exactly you need. Our business model is very simple. We having B2B and B2G. We are not directly into B2C model. So it's a one-time hardware cost, and then based on that we having AI SaaS subscription cost also. We are dealing in some government agencies also, so there we having AMC and CMC kind of things also. If you look into the market size, obviously market size is big, because when we're looking towards the application, so now we are focusing on the computer vision applications and obviously the charger market applications, where the market size is big. But when we looking around the surveillance market, so here also we actually focusing on the 2-3 areas of the surveillance only, and then we having AI buckets according to that we will going to add. So ultimately we cover a very low kind of market, but in actual this is much bigger. These kind of controllers we have already. Obviously these controller having doesn't much customizations. You can say that at the chip levels that customization is over there. So you can say that this Aryabhatta A7 A8 kind of boards, it can fit into any kind of applications, and a power electronics application, where Cosmos AI box is a kind of computer vision solution where exactly you can fit. It's based on a FPGA GPU kind of technology, where you can make any existing camera intelligence based on the AI features that you need. We having differentiation, so we are actually providing advanced AI features. We having end-to-end solutions, and obviously the low cost to ownership. Early tractions we started last year only, and we already deployed this 15 industrial clients in 10 months of operations. We having more than 1.5 CR POs within 10 months, and we having multiple POCs. For R&Ds, we are collaborated with many big companies also. This is the kind of revenue projections that we are looking. This is the roadmap. So roadmap is very clear that what are the versions we are made. Actually, now we are actually rolling that products for the B2B market until we are actually just roll it for the government and for some POC kind of things. And continuous improvement is the roadmap. These are some of the recent clients and the associations we have already. And that's what we are actually asking for the funds and the use of funds we have. And this is the VR co-founder team. So basically we having a different area of expertise from computer science to the hardware domains and all these things. And this is our team leaders things. Thank you so much.
Hi, Ashwini. One question. You mentioned about optimization, right? So, how do you work with your clients? Do you give them a tool in which I could run my model so it can get optimized, or how do you go about working with them? You mentioned it is a SaaS platform as well.
Yeah, actually now we are working towards the SaaS model. So we are not giving a client kind of things. We taken their functional requirements, okay, and what kind of applications they need. Based on that, we actually doing the hardware optimization first. And
Say if I already have a cloud application, right, and a model which is running on cloud.
Okay.
So do you expect that, as a client, I open up my model to you so that you can optimize, or how do you, or if I come to you saying that this is my requirement, you build it from scratch?
No, actually, we are not working in this model. Basically, if you give into this, basically we are working a complete end-to-end solution. So you giving us the applications, we will work from hardware to software. But again, here we are not changing the hardware now for computer vision applications. So you just tell us the applications. We're trying to be optimized at hardware, software levels, but we are not open for this. That you will give us the model and then we will optimize it.
Okay. One other question, as in terms of cloud versus edge, right?
Yeah.
Typically, what is the optimization or the payload size that you have to arrive at? Approximately, I think, for a vision AI model, right?
Actually, look, we done 2-3 projects for text analytics kind of thing. So ultimately, first at AI levels, when I'm talking about, so ultimately what kind of millions parameters we doing. So that is the first. So we trying to make the model light, because ultimately, whether it is a cloud or whether it is an edge, if your model is not light, so we have AI team which exactly working on that kind of systems. And at hardware levels, basically we actually thinking that what kind of, for example, for electronics manufacturing defect detections, where exactly you need very high kind of computation. So there we having controller, we decided, okay, sensor integration load you put on the FPGA and the AIML you put over there. So this kind of things we do.
Thank you. One last question.
This 1 crore order, is it a single order or several orders?
It's 15 plus customers, sir.
15 plus customers.
15.
And what is the kind of a use case for? Is it product or SaaS? And also, what kind of use cases?
Yeah, sir, it covers the data acquisition, high data acquisitions for the metallurgical application. One is in defense for computer vision application, and one is drones, again for the computer vision application. And some orders for power electronics applications also. It's a product, sir.
Thank you so much. Now we have our next presentation. Thank you so much. Patients. World's most personalized, predictive and non-invasive health monitor based on data science-driven Ayurveda producers.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Parag Kulkarni. I'm the co-founder and the CTO of the Atraya Innovations. So just a one-line introduction, we are a tech company into an Ayurveda space who are motivated towards making healthier and happier youth. So the need that we are trying to address is people needs to be monitored for their health, and they need to be coached in order to achieve their wellness journey, which is very personalized and holistic way. That is what we are exactly trying to do with the help of the Ayurveda and the technology. Before going there, how do we do that? Just a quick introduction about Atraya. So we already have our own revenue generating product being used by 800 plus customers throughout India. Totally, we have presence in 12, almost 12 countries, and more than 350, 100 plus, 350k plus patients have been diagnosed using our products and services. And so far, we have generated revenue about 600 US dollars, 600k US dollars plus. We are an ISO certified company. We are the National Startup Award winner for the 2021. Also, we have won the Excellence Award by the Ministry of the Ayush. And to our technology, we have already acquired the patents in the US, Europe, and the Indonesia region. So this is an Nadi Tarangini, which is our product. I'll explain how does it work. So essentially what we have done is our core IP is into data analytics. So we try to marry the ancient knowledge of an Ayurveda with respect to the data science. Because we know the power of the data science, it can do a lot of predictive analytics, and that is what is expected by the Ayurveda. So that is what we have exactly done, and that's why we called as a technology company into an Ayurveda space. So this is the 3 sensors that we have to put to the wrist of the person. It will pick up the Nadi signal, which goes back to the backend. It does the analytics and provides an output in a digital format. So what essentially it does is, it achieves is, it transforms the subjectiveness of an Ayurveda transforms into an objectiveness. So once the things comes to an objective domain, there are a lot of business opportunities and a lot of potentials are there that we can see. With this Nadi Tarangini, we have been a coin partner with the TCS. We have successfully run the 2 pilot projects and things are going ahead in very positive side. Very recently, we have got a note from the curriculum board to introduce the Nadi Tarangini as a teaching device for across all the Ayurveda colleges of the India, and that single order itself is about the value of 7 CR Indian rupees. And very recently we have received the grant from the Niti Aayog worth of the 125k US dollars to conduct the clinical trial using the Nadi Tarangini for the pre-diabetes condition. So that is what we are going to do, and data collection has already started. Also, we are in talk of a lot of government agencies to install this our product at the primary healthcare centers across the India. So Uttarakhand government has already bought 25 plus devices and 40 are on their way. We have got a testimonial from a lot of experts in the domain across the India, and the biggest acknowledgement that we got from our Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi ji in his Mann Ki Baat, which was 27th March. So far we are, as on today, we are touching the lives of 5,000 plus people on daily basis. In 2 years, with our plan, we are planning to touch around 50,000 people on the daily basis, and in the 5 years, about 50 lakh people. That is what our plan is. The main ask for this particular round is for our next upcoming product, which is going to be in the wearable domain. So what technology I have shown you, Nadi Tarangini is fully developed product. It is already in market. We are on the way of miniaturizing this technology and put into the wearable form factor, so that we are coming with the world's first Ayurveda-based wearable. So imagine you are wearing a wearable which is monitoring your Nadi pulse 24/7 and giving the prediction you are going to fall for a diabetes or you are going to fall for the hypertension. That is what we are trying to do with this wearable. So it is going to So it is going to monitor you 24/7 and going to give a lot of predictive analytics. There are many market players in them. Are there like iWatch, Goki, Fitbit, etc. What their lack is a real SmartTech in terms of doing the predictive analytics of the NCDs, which is a non-communicable disorders, and that is going to be the USP of our product. The customer segment is all the wellness enthusiasts who are troubled with the digestion, various type of issues. It's a very huge market segment, and I'll directly come to the ask. So here we are asking for the raising $1 million. All the green or the blue part is mainly the Nadi Tarangini, which is already revenue generating part. Some portion of it will be used for the scale up plan into the other verticals like the spa and wellness centers and gym and yoga, etc. Majority of it will be used making the wearable, which is a world's first diabetes monitoring wearable, and it has many other possibilities out there. By doing so, what is going to happen is we are ultimately building a platform which is world's first Ayurveda-based analytical platform, and that will be used as a platform as a service in the long term. So even in the long run, we are going to be Ayurveda-based platform company which is running the analytical algorithms.
Fantastic. Any questions?
What's the error rate in
identifying the right those doshas, I think, and then what is the cost of the device?
So at worst case it is around 70% and best case around 85%. That's accuracy, not error.
Hi Aniruddha. In terms of your wearable expansion plan, what are the sensors that you use as part of it? What do you plan to use?
So right now in the Nadi range, they are particularly the parametric pressure sensors. In the wearable, we are experimenting various with optical sensor as well as some force sensors.
Okay, the ones which are already available in these popular wearables, the standard ones, or
no. So they are
any
not capable.
specific-
They are doing the HRV analysis, which is not a Nadi analysis.
No, I'm saying in terms of hardware sensors in itself.
Yeah.
So do you, because there I think PPG sensors
They lack
are used.
sensitivity because the real information in the nadi is in the smallest signals that appears in the nadi. So those small variations need to be measured, and the conventional optical sensors cannot do that kind of sensitive measurements.
Sure. Second question is in terms of accuracy. You mentioned. Have you tried it with respect to a traditional invasive measurement of diabetes, right? When compared to your
No. So my comment was not with respect to diabetes because diabetes-related clinical research has just begun. We have started data collection, so it was not in context of the diabetes, but other parameters that we currently output, which is after digestive fire, mental well-being, physical well-being, etc.
Okay.
Which is as per the Ayurveda text like Bala, Agni, and various gunas.
Thank you.
One last question.
Yeah, who is certified?
Certified what? Correct. So, unfortunately, we approached the Ayush Ministry. There is no formal way of certifying and giving this kind of test. Yeah. So that is why we took our approach to open this product to an expert themselves, the Ayurveda practitioners, and gathering their feedback, talking to them. That is, we have decided the accuracy on our own. And as well as it has been very prominently used by all the All India Institute of Ayurveda, Delhi, and many other institutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We have the last one, Vaive, building the next generation of solar electricity cars. And over to you.
Great, thank you so much. I know this is me and the next is your lunch. So I'm going to go very fast with my slides to give you time for your questions and you can catch me later if you want more information. So we are Wave Mobility. We are an electric car startup based in Pune. Our vision is to build purpose-built vehicles for urban mobility. So this is a very specific use case. This is a new category that is getting created around the world. So we are building a personal vehicle. The personal vehicle, as I don't need to tell you at all in Bangalore how traffic looks like. Our urban vehicle is intended to address this for really 3 billion people in urban traffic today. There is no personal vehicle for mobility that really meets that need for the person that's trying to reach somewhere. With two-wheelers, you have issues with comfort and safety. With four-wheelers today, an entry-level electric car is going to at least be at 10 lakh rupees, and you will be still stuck with congestion and parking issues. So we've created EVA, a category creator. EVA is a 2 adult and 1 child seater. It is intentionally built at that aspect to really give you the ability to do your jobs around the city with the minimum amount of space needed, with a covered cabin and the comforts of a modern hatchback. Range is 250 kilometers. The range that you can actually get is augmented with the solar panel on the roof that provides about 3,000 kilometers of range in addition to what you would charge your car. So that's about 30% of a typical person's driving ability. Very efficient vehicle. We have DC fast charging, which is a real kind of breakthrough in this size of vehicle, as well as a liquid cooled battery that is essential for any car in India to survive more than a few years on the road. In terms of safety, we have airbag for the driver, and we have a steel monocoque chassis. The target customer is the India 1 or 2 family that needs a second vehicle to go do their jobs around the city in a quick and convenient way. Office goes is our primary target, but obviously we have pretty much everybody in the family who could benefit with a vehicle like this. So where's India today? We have a large white space between, as I said, between the premium electric two-wheelers and the entry-level electric cars. But India today, over the last decade, people's incomes have tripled, and that makes for ability to buy a second or a third car, and that's the target we are initially starting with. I already mentioned we are trying to fill that gap in the market, and the vehicle will be priced at about 5 to 7 lakhs. There's a very large global market that we can address. We are forecasting about $450 million of EVA sales that we can achieve in a very short time. We took the car to the Delhi Auto Expo. We were overwhelmed with interest. People crowded the booth. We have over 8,000 sign-ups on a pre-order list. We have over 120 dealers saying, "मुझे गाड़ी चाहिए, मेरे region में exclusivity दीजिए." So we have tremendous pull from the people who sell cars every day, and that speaks for something. We had huge traction on social media as well. We have a clear moat on terms of IP, smart category choice, and our technical competence in-house. So I'll stop here. We also have a fleet vehicle that we are building. It's I'll show you what it is. It's a B2B fleet taxi, which is a huge demand in India today with no other competing vehicle. Yeah, sorry, I didn't get to that slide. The ask is $10 million. $5 million will take us through all the detailed engineering to homologation, and the next $5 million will take us to our first production run of 100 cars in consumer hands in an 18-month timeline.
Thank you. We're open for one question, otherwise you can catch me later outside.
What is the logic of the panel, right? The panel, 500 kilowatt panel, maybe 600, and 14 kilowatt hour battery. How much is it really going to add to the range?
So it's a 150 watt panel on the roof. So under Indian sun conditions, you get about 1 kilowatt hour accumulation every day, and that provides about 10 to 15 kilometers of driving range. So that is what adds up to the 3,000 kilometers per year. So thank you so much. If you want to catch me later, you can also look me up on LinkedIn and on our website. Thanks.
Thank you so much.